Do you know one of the biggest mistakes in email marketing that can cost you tens and hundreds of thousands of dollars? Not segmenting your email list and bombarding your audience with the same emails. I've seen big brands and small brands make this mistake, and no wonder. Segmentation is one of the toughest parts of email marketing. So in this video, I will show you why you should use segmentation and show you how to do it, going over must-have segments for every e-commerce brand. If you're new here, welcome. My name is Kasey and I run Luck & Co agency, where we help 8- and 9-figure e-commerce brands maximize the revenue with email and SMS marketing. We've been doing this for years now and accumulated a ton of experience. And on this channel, I share with you what we've learned for free. So make sure that you like this video. It's free, and subscribe to the channel. It's also free, but it helps me a ton. Thank you so much in advance, and let's get going. So first up, just so we're all on the same page, what is segmentation? Email segmentation is the process of dividing and separating email subscribers into groups or segments based on different criteria in your email marketing platform. Email subscribers can end up in multiple segments depending on factors like age, location, gender, interests, website behavior, or email engagement, and more. It's a personalization tactic that allows you to deliver relevant content to your subscribers, which is what we all want, right? Here are some of the reasons you should be sending to segments versus emailing your entire list. Number one, not all subscribers are the same. The majority of e-commerce brands don't cater to just one type of customer, even if they focus on a specific product or product category. There's no one-size-fits-all customer, and typically, e-commerce businesses have multiple ideal customer segments. Your subscribers will likely have distinct expectations of your brand. For example, if you own an online store that sells fashion accessories, you might cater to both individual consumers seeking trendy items and bulk buyers from fashion boutiques looking to stock their inventory. These are two very different types of customers with distinct preferences and purchasing behaviors, meaning they should be treated quite differently, right? So if you are doing some email marketing to these two target customer segments, blanketing them with the same broad messaging wouldn't be as effective as sending each a targeted email that spoke to their specific preferences, buying patterns, and needs. Reason number two, different stages of the sales cycle. Subscribers will be at different stages of the sales cycle when your email lands in their inbox. To maximize your impact and their experience, it's important that you target customers with the content they need every step of the way. You can use segmentation to group your audience according to their stage in the journey. If they have just joined your marketing list, you should be sending them welcome emails and content to introduce your brand. When they've made a purchase recently, they'll need follow-up content to keep them engaged, and you would probably want to exclude them from your regular programming or your regular campaigns and promotions for the time being. Reason number three, increased conversion rates. With segmentation, you'll be targeting the right customer with the right message at the right stage of their journey. This will inevitably lead to more conversion, sales, and ultimately more revenue for your brand. If you're looking to improve your email marketing metrics, segmentation is a must. And finally, reason number four, improved deliverability. The more relevant the content that you send, the more opens you will get and the fewer unsubscribes. The higher the open rate and the lower the unsubscribe rate, the better your email reputation will be. Everything is connected. As customers begin to expect relevant and engaging emails, they will open and interact with your emails more often. The more readers engage with your email marketing, the more email providers will recognize you as a reputable and trustworthy sender. Accidentally landing in the spam folder will be a thing of the past. Main segments for e-commerce brands. Now that we know why do it, let's see what exactly we should be doing and how to do it. Let's get to building those segments. The first category of segments or philosophies upon which to do your segmentation is engagement-based segments. These are typically the go-to segments for all e-commerce brands because regardless of what you sell and who you sell it to, the engagement among your audience follows similar trends. There are always people on your list who are very engaged with your brand. They're going to your site, they're opening emails, they're clicking emails, they're actively looking for stuff. They're interested in what you have to say and what you have to show, and they would welcome more information from you. To such subscribers, you should send more often. And then Again, for every brand, there are always older profiles in your database who have subscribed at some point, so they were interested at some point, but at this time, they're not going to your site, they're not opening emails, they're not clicking the emails, so they're not as interested. And to such subscribers, you want to send less often. You still want to send to them to give them an opportunity to re-engage, but you don't want to send them as often as you're sending to your engaged subscribers. So this is the underlying philosophy under engagement-based segments, and the way you actually define engagement would also be different brand to brand. The traditional way to define engagement for the purposes of email segmentation is based on strictly email engagement. Email engagement means opening or clicking emails. And if you look for documentation or training on segmentation from your email platform or your email service provider, they will probably recommend engagement-based segments based on whether somebody opened an email in the last X number of days or clicked an email in the last X number of days. Here at Luck & Co., we like to use wider definitions of engagement or enriched definitions of engagement. And we recognize other actions as a sign of engagement with your brand. Actions such as going to your site, viewing a product, adding product to cart, or starting a checkout. Yes, those are not engagements with the emails, but they're engagements with the brand. And if we do have that person in our email database and we've been able to track that behavior on site, we will include that in the definition of engagement so that these people can receive more campaigns because we know they're engaged on the site even if they're not engaged with the email. There are a lot of nuances about how you want to go about this and when you need to use strictly email engagement and when it's okay to use a wider definition of engagement like we do. To simplify it, if your overall deliverability and engagement in your account is great, then you're safe to use a wider definition of engagement. However, if you're currently experiencing problems with deliverability, if your open or click rate is plummeting, then you should definitely stick to email strictly engagement. In terms of how you actually build segments like this, I will show examples on the screen. This, of course, will depend highly on the email service provider that you're using. But in general, you want to build identical segments that are differing in one thing, and that is the window that you're measuring them in. So engaged 30 days, engaged 60 days, engaged 90 days, engaged 180 days, and so on. So you will have, 4 or 6 segments like this. And the definitions would be the same except for that window of time. And then the way you approach this when you're looking at your content calendar and when you're evaluating who to send this particular email campaign to, you evaluate 2 things. A, you evaluate the content of this email. Is this something that everybody on my list should hear about? Is it a big announcement, like a big sale? Or is this content that really only my core, most engaged people would be interested in? So that's number 1, or A. And then B, the other thing that you evaluate is the engagement of your recent campaigns. So you look back at the last 5 that you sent and you evaluate open rate and click-through rate. Are those metrics good? If they are good or very good, that means that you have a chance or have a good opportunity to send to a wider segment and compromise the engagement a little bit, because the wider you go, the lower your engagement will be. But if your current engagement is good anyway, then you have an opportunity to email more people. However, if you're seeing that in the past few campaigns, your click rate is going down, your open rate is going down, that's a sign that you should send to tighter segments to control that and bring the engagement up. So build these segments that we described, engaged 30, engaged 60, engaged 90, 180, and 270. 365 days is another option, but that's very wide and you shouldn't send to that segment too often. And then each time you send a campaign, evaluate who it should go out to. The second category of segments is segments based on interest. Of course, this is one of the most interesting ways to segment your audience because it allows you to communicate, to tailor your content and send specific content to specific people. Now, there are multiple sources where you can find out about people's interest. Source number 1 is your pop-up. We have a ton of tutorials about pop-ups on this channel, so if you're not sure how to collect interest in pop-ups, you should watch a video that will link somewhere on the screen right now. But one of the things that we love to do at Luck & Co. in our pop-ups is, in addition to asking for the person's email address and their phone number, we also ask them questions that will help us convert that person more effectively. So for example, if somebody is shopping for swimwear, let's say, we ask, hey, when is the trip that you're taking? Because most people shop for swimwear for a trip or a vacation. And then depending on the option they choose, that's how we decide how frequently we're going to send them welcome emails. Or for example, if you have a store that sells to both adults and kids, you can ask, who are you shopping for, kids or myself, as an example. And then you create segments that take into consideration the answer that the person gave in the pop-up. So that's source number one. Another source of people's interest could be quizzes. So if you have a fit quiz or a style quiz or a quiz that helps the customers and shoppers determine which product is best for them, you should definitely be tagging the profiles as they take that quiz in your email service provider, such as Klaviyo or MailChimp or Drip or anything else. Tag those people and then build segments based on those tags, and then you'll be able to send campaigns to such people. Other sources of interests could be the products that the person viewed. So if they viewed products X, Y, and Z, you build a segment based on that. Here you go. Or maybe if they viewed a whole category page, that can also be in the definition of an interest-based segment. Of course, clicking emails. If you send emails focused strictly on topic A and then an email focused strictly on topic B, then you can segment and say, hey, anybody who clicked that first email, they're interested in topic A, and anybody who clicked the second email, they're interested in topic B. And then of course, past purchases are a great indicator of somebody's interest. So speaking again of swimwear, if they bought a one piece in the past, most likely they're going to buy a one piece again. Or if they bought a two piece in the past, most likely they're going to buy and be more interested in emails that you send about two pieces. So interest-based segments are definitely a very, very important types of segments, and you should build all the possible ones in your account and then send campaigns to them and see how your audience performs. Another go-to segment is based on geography, and this will depend highly on your product and your business. For some brands, geography is not actually as important. However, for some other brands, geography is very, very important. And so you know your business best if you know that people on the coast, for example, buy product X more. Then build segments based on where people live and their zip codes and their states and send that way. Or if you know that people in northern states buy products X and people in southern states buy more of product Y, then you can build segments based on that and send campaigns that way. That's also definitely a very, very viable way to segment your audience. And then when we talk about segmentation, a very important thing to talk about is not only the segments that we send campaigns to, but the segments we exclude from our sends. And most email service providers now have this functionality where you choose the segments you're sending to, and then you choose the segments that you're excluding from your campaign send. And the very first segment that you should build that's intended for exclusion is recent customers. So if a person placed an order in the last 7, 14, 21 days, really depends on your sales cycle and the frequency of repurchasing. So maybe for you, that would be even 90 days. If they purchased recently, whatever recently means for you, they should probably be excluded from other campaigns, because the purpose of most campaigns you're sending is to sell. If they just purchased, there's no reason to keep selling to them. And that's one of the most frequent reasons for unsubscribing, actually, is when a person just bought, but they feel like they keep getting bombarded by the brand with messages to buy. I can see how that could be annoying. So build a segment of recent purchasers and exclude them from your campaigns. Another possible segment that you might want to exclude from campaigns is people in the welcome flow. If they just recently subscribed and they're getting nurtured in a welcome flow that is very thought through, you've built it and there's a lot of intention around what they should be receiving. If they're just interacting with your brand for the first time, then there's a lot of sense in creating a segment of people who are currently in the welcome flow and not letting them receive campaigns from you at the same time. And then finally, another segment that we like to create and exclude from campaigns is what we call unhappy customers. So if you have a customer support platform you're using, such as Gorgeous, if you're not using any platform and you're interested, I have a link to start using Gorgeous in the video description here. Gorgeous integrates with Klaviyo. Other customer service platforms also integrate with Klaviyo and other email platforms. And when they integrate, so that's one thing that you want to look for, is that your customer service platform integrates with your email platform. When they integrate, you'll be able to create a segment of people who currently have a ticket open with you. And if they have a ticket open with you, it's safe to assume there's probably an issue that they're working through with your customer support. And so just exclude that segment from campaigns for now. And then once the ticket is closed, they will be re-added back into the campaign flow. That's another very useful segment to exclude from your campaigns to keep your customers happier. This is it for this video. I hope that you enjoyed it. I hope that it was helpful. If you have questions left about segmentation, please drop them in the comments below. I know that segmentation is a huge topic. We're just scratching the surface here. I wanted to have an intro video that really explains all the different possibilities and then gives an idea of how to build these segments in different platforms, because again, it's going to be very different in different email platforms. If you're looking for a tutorial specifically for Klaviyo about segmentation, please comment under this video, because I love recording Klaviyo tutorials, so I'll create that for you if there's interest. And other than that, please like this video, subscribe to the channel, and I will see you in the next one. Thanks.